Our recent expansion in the east must continue, now that the Greeks have reluctantly joined our empire. You are to establish Miletus as a great new city. Miletus is key to bringing Asia under Roman rule, as well as being the gateway to many other beckoning lands, from Egyptus to Syria. Create a city on the Lycian coast. I expect you to achieve levels of culture and prosperity beyond what you've done so far. The peoples of the East must clearly see the benefits of Roman rule. One small obstacle is the lack of farmland in this province. However, Miletus affords Roman citizens a new way to make a living. At Miletus, you will pioneer fishing. Romans have always been hesitant mariners. Although we do set sail to conquer overseas enemies and spread our empire to far shores, we Romans prefer to keep our feet dry. No Roman city has ever fished for its food on a large scale. You will change that. Miletus has abundant fishing grounds. You can spot them by the seabirds circling overhead. Build a shipyard to construct fishing boats. Fishing boats do not work out of the shipyard. To provide crews and to process their cargoes, build wharves. One wharf can serve only one fishing boat, so you must build a new wharf for every new fishing vessel that your shipyard builds. Wharf workers will take fish to the granary, where it can be distributed just like any other food. Oh, by the way, although this is a peaceful province, peaceful is a relative term when you get this far away from Rome. You should be ready for minor trouble. Pay attention to any reports of enemy activity and be ready to defend your city. Walls and towers, backed up by a legion or two, ought to be quite sufficient.
I don't particularly like this mission. I think it took me about... This is post-hoc commentary, okay? I'm going to tell you guys right now. I had to do this mission. I think I spent 7 hours on this mission altogether. And so this mission is going to be in several parts. So watch what I plant if you're curious to see a good build order. But it's all up to you really how you want to do this, how you want to start. But I recommend, of course, getting the residential area first, and of course I recommend marking off some of your area with reservoirs and delineating the borders of the reservoir, at least in part. And you don't have to have aqueducts everywhere. You don't have to box it in with aqueducts. As long as you have aqueducts on one reservoir, you should be fine. So I'll build aqueducts going up and build a second one. Getting water to this area is important, of course, and you know me, I like to have my donut in the middle. Now, in this format that I do, it's actually only possible to get large insulae. It's not possible to get rich people's houses because they require an expansion of 3x3, I think. So, if you want rich people, you have to format something a lot different. You have to... I'm not sure. You can't surround the residential zone with this outside rim where the marketers go. You have to probably share the circle with all the city services and just connect that into the market area and ignore the outside ring. So that's the way to do that. I never could get extremely wealthy people. I've gotten a few wealthy people in some maps to begin with, but it's difficult because they of course require everything. They require no undesirables next to them. So you want to open trade right away here because you're going to need to start your economy really quick and you run out of money too fast. So I'm going to try and maximize my farm space. I kind of don't want to build there, but I do anyway. It makes the road one off, but whatever. You build mostly fruit. You gotta have prefectures. You have to, because in this map, the speed at which the risk of fire rises before your building catches on fire is doubled on this map. So you need prefectures right away. and you probably need more than necessary in most maps, because a lot of things will catch on fire, and if your city starts to roast, you're kind of screwed, because then you have to rebuild the stuff that you were building, wasting money. So always got to put the markets down. And there might be formats to where the markets could double up in different donuts, but I find that to be very unwise, because I have problems later on in this map with the market bitches really going down the wrong area. It becomes a gigantic problem, to the point where I'm fluctuating all the time. I can't keep a steady donut, and that bugs me. Even though with like 3 donuts, you eventually get the population. You need 5,000 population in this map, and that's really difficult to do. Well, it's not entirely difficult to do. It's just difficult in the sense that you have to select where your food is. There's only 2 patches in this area that you can grow food, and I'm at the first one. The second one is up at the top, and I don't get to that till much later. So that means the transport of food to the granaries becomes an issue. And of course the mountains in this area are rich in iron, because your raw materials allow you to harvest iron, but not marble. So plop down some iron, probably right away, and try and get... See, I have to connect here. And that does make it difficult, because the marketers, they like to just walk in that general area. So I gotta put a reservoir here. I think I'm not sure where I put this, but you gotta have one in the corner somewhere, so you gotta have a square. I gotta have an aqueduct built. So, I'm not an aqueduct, what am I saying? You have to have, the reservoir, yeah. So, I hate that, how it won't... I wish there was a setting in this game to where, when you build over trees, it'll automatically plow them down for you. It gets annoying that it doesn't do that. And I need all the space in that one area for the weapons industry, so I'm basically connecting here. With that connected the way it is, the area is covered as far as fountains are necessary. So now, we all know from the past videos that this one ring is usually good for about 1,500 people. If they all evolved into large insuli, it would be a little bit more than that. It would probably be 1,700. But to get large insuli, you need a coliseum, because you need 3 entertainment venues. You need a theater, amphitheater, and the coliseum. You also need the coliseum for rich people. Problem, again, with rich people is they need access to everything, but they don't want to live near anything. So that becomes a huge problem. So these donuts just don't work for them, like I said. But they work. They work for anything but that, and I generally don't need them. Over time, I actually move these temples outside of the donut, because it's... One school is not enough to walk around this entire donut. Most of the other city services are. As a matter of fact, I think all of them are. The exception is the school. And it can't... The children don't walk the entire ring, I don't think. So, if you put down one school, you'll have to put down a second school. You can put down 2 schools in the ring, one at the top caddy-cornered, and it'll work. But I generally start to throw schools everywhere. And here I'm deciding, I'm like, well, what am I going to put here? The 4 small areas are the prefecture, engineers, doctor's office, and barber shop. Those are the 4 items that you need, that are only 1 by 1. So I'm considering where to put those. And of course, I don't have a library, I don't think, in this inner ring, because I want to put in all 5 temples. And in so doing, I need the smaller items. You need health in this map too, relatively soon. There's the theater. And of course I need the prefecture as an engineering office. So I don't have the clinic and I don't have the barbershop. And I end up putting those in the other ring. In the corner where the markets are. There's, like right here, yeah, see, you can do that. And another one right by the other market. And that actually does work, because they'll walk all the way around that ring and be fine. Anyway, what was I saying? About, I can't remember anymore where my topic was going. before I mention that. Alright, so start your industries. You need your iron weapons right away because that's your main money maker in this map. It starts out selling 15 and it'll go up to 24. I never managed to sell 24 because you need a bunch of docks for that, and the issue is if you maximize your docks to get them to buy and sell everything right away, then you don't leave space for fishing wharfs. And you need fishing wharfs because you don't get enough food in this map. This map is very much bare. And they only let you grow fruit. You can't grow wheat, which is the main staple. So that's something to consider. And you need to grow olives because you won't get the population you need without oil. And you can't import oil or olives. You can import pottery and clay. And I end up importing first pottery. It gets expensive. Then I go to clay and build my own industry. But I end up reverting into just buying pottery because I end up selling enough weapons and oil. The only things you can sell on this map are weapons and oil. You can sell fish too, and I do start selling fish, but over time I stop selling it because you just need to feed people. And I need to get all these services up right away. So that's why I'm building them all. And they're going to have to populate, and I need a senate. I have to have a senate because I need to start taxing people. And of course the fountain happens to be in the prime real estate for that, so I'll have to adjust that. You just jump up the speed. The brackets next to P go faster and slower, and of course P pauses. I got some comments on the other videos for Caesar, and thank you for commenting. I do read them. If you want me to physically respond, don't forget to private message me, because I'm not upgrading to Google+. So this will last me, this will give me enough employment to run most of the stuff. And of course I want to make sure that I am overprotected as far as fire is concerned. Because I don't have a prefecture on the outside here. I have one up there by the farms, but it's not going to be enough. So I'll need to plop another one down. And you might as well put the engineering post as well. Even though the pillar that rises for collapse risk doesn't go up nearly as fast as fire in this map. And of course the aqueduct only has that one square next to the road, so there's not much else I can put here. So it's kind of a dead-end corner. Yeah, it is a 2x2 technically, but I don't need it for anything. I'll just do that. And here comes the population. Now it's just a matter of juggling the economy. Here is, realize that I gotta plop down another fountain. They can't do anything. And like I said, health is a main issue in this. Water gets contaminated, and if you don't have a doctor's office and a hospital, people start getting sick and they start fumigating areas. So that's something to consider. So you have to have health right away. You have to have health right away. You have to have an industry right away because you don't get enough money without exporting. And of course, I need to break that road right there to stop the engineer from walking the wrong direction. And here it's good to slightly beautify the road so they can evolve easier. And you want to set your priorities. Maybe the way I have them, maybe something different works for you. Here is time to do military. Look at the timestamp between last cut and this cut, and you'll see how much time has passed. Not much. Because the messages that come through when you hear that dun dun, that's a new message for you, and it's telling me that there's a distant battle. So I need to start manning. You need a military academy, a barracks, and then a fort. And here I just do auxiliary because they don't require weapons from the weapons industry, so I can sell 100% of my weapons. And here's the first time I lose all my money, so he gives you a little bit more. It's hard to juggle that right away, but because the fort is $1,000, but 2 of those forts is enough. Really, for the entire map. You don't need any more than that. And you don't need legionnaires, so it's just wise to keep all your weapons for the market, sell them. I need more employment, as you can see, but we'll get that slowly. And I'll probably start expanding the farms here shortly. Yeah, it's time to start doing that here now. I go for more fruit up here. I don't have any oil right now, but I won't need it right away. You need pottery initially to get your stuff up above the first red roof, and from there to get to the buildings right above those. From there you need furniture and oil to get to the insulae. So we're gonna start clear the land here, and I think it's time to start doing fishing. Yeah, you need a shipyard, a dock. I had a problem in this map that the shipyard lost employment. So what happened was the guys would come to sell, and they'd send a cart out to get stuff, and then the shipyard would lose employment. Well, what happens in that case is that the guys go and pick up the first item, so you can sell one item to them, then they vanish. And that's just how the game mechanics work, and it's really frustrating. Because then the ship leaves, and here's where you open up trade routes. He'll sell you wheat, and he'll buy oil and fish. I wish you could refine fish into oil as well, you know, fish oil. But no, they only do olives for olive oil. I think they used the oil for lamps. I don't know if you can ignite olive oil or not for lamps. Never tried. Okay, so here's where they're asking for educational facilities, so you want to throw a library down. And maybe a school. I still have a couple thousand denarii, so it's pretty good. So my employment's almost maxed, and then I can start plopping down a few more items and waiting. So here's the school and the library, so it should be fine. I'm deciding on just where to put it, because I know the distance that they walk is pretty low. The stupid children can't run around. It's like, what the fuck? They should have the largest running distance, right? But what do I know? And I kind of want to start doing oil now. I mean, not oil, for furniture, because you can't import timber. You can make it yourself. So with the employment I'm getting, it's pretty wise to start your timber. And they have to be next to one of these tufts. So you don't want to clear all of them. They count as trees. I'm not quite sure what kind of tree, but they count as trees. So a couple of those is... I don't think I build any more than 2 timber for my furniture industry. You make more than a furniture. I think I make 5 factories, and that's just plenty. I do have a problem later with the bitches not getting furniture into the market, but it's because they're too busy trying to get food. It's not because I lack furniture. I got 2 full warehouses of furniture. I got 64 furniture on my fucking city, and she's just not going to get it because she can't. Overall, though, the city design works, but it's so frustrating. Okay, I'm going to clear out here because I need a warehouse. Initially, I'm doubling up, as you can see. I'm using weapons and wheat in the same warehouse. And here, I think I do oil and furniture and pottery. You do not want to double and triple up your warehouses whenever possible. It's the biggest mistake you can make. I initially do it because I don't have the employment to staff more than one warehouse, and I don't really have the space allocated right now. I don't really know where I want them to be. So that over time, that's kind of how the evolution of the city works, and I want to show you guys when I build, because it's fun to watch the evolution, and that's the most important thing in this game. So of course the prefix are there, and here those red roofed houses of course require pottery to advance. So this is when, and once you get the milestone of about 800 people, the gods start getting pissed that you only have 1 temple. So this is why you see me building the second small temple. I'd build oracles, but I can't get marble. I don't have the money. Look, my money's already at 777, and it's dropping rapidly. It's difficult to juggle your initial money because you need so many things right away. I mean, like I said, you need the exports, the military, furniture, pottery, just to start evolving your first ring. And look, only that one dock is trying to service 3 ships. See, now he's pissed. Here I'm going to start throwing out some olives, you know. That's 4 olive farms right there. That's plenty. As a matter of fact, I kind of overdo olive oil for a while. Over time, I end up plowing down some of the industry. Well, technically it catches on fire. And then when it burns down, I never replace it. And it works out just fine. I still have 2 full factories full of 2 full warehouses full of olive oil, even as I'm selling it. So you don't need a whole lot of olives to generate a lot of oil. Initially you do, and then it just goes down from there. I think I probably plop out maybe 6 olive farms, and that's really a lot. Olives are faster than clay, it seems. Well, you can import clay. Yeah, but I think an olive farm will do 2.5. So now I'm evolving. I'm waiting for them to evolve, because as they evolve, you get more population. I'm playing the waiting game. As they evolve, here they come. So I got to get more employment, and that's when I start building the higher industries. And here's where I need the shipyard. As the opening mentioned, you need a shipyard, and I need a wharf, because I'm going to start doing fish. And initially I do start to sell the fish, but that's only because I need the money, and I don't quite need the food because I'm importing wheat. But over time, you just have to stop selling fish. Now, of course, right here, as you extend the wharf, you're going to need fire protection. And I just do the collapse protection because you can't trust walkers. They're so fucking stupid. Just, this game... Like, they didn't change the engine until Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom, but okay. Here we go. Going to, this is the warehouse where I accept nothing but fish, I think. Yeah. Because I want to start, putting fish in that warehouse to sell. And I think we're coming to the end of part 1. This is going to be in several parts because I have 7 hours of footage, and I didn't expect to spend, 3 days, 4 days on this. Yeah, about 4 of my afternoons on this, and now it's going to take another afternoon and a half just to edit it. But here's where I'm trying to divide the warehouse. So just oil and then just furniture. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with pottery, I'm juggling the economy in the pottery area over and over again. So now I have small inside, which is pretty good. I eventually have to throw another warehouse down. Like I said, they don't mind being next to the warehouses, but that's only if you build a bunch of plazas and stuff. So the desirability of the warehouse is sucks, but it's okay in this particular moment, so I sacrifice some aesthetics in the sake of functionality. Alright, so I'll see you next episode.